Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode. Now, do you know that you and I act the way we see ourselves? And sometimes when we can't take any action or take it consistently, it's because we don't believe that we can be the person that we would like to be. We can't see ourselves in that end result. Now, I know I kind of went over this before in a recent podcast episode. I think if you go back 2 episodes, I had answered a question where someone was asking about becoming a writer or an author. And I know some people mightn't listen to that podcast episode because they think, well, that's not relevant to me. So I just thought I would kind of take that idea, take it into today's podcast episode and blow it out a little bit because it is relevant to all of us. Because if we don't see ourselves as the person we would like to become, we never take any action to become that. We kind of maybe play around with the idea, we maybe buy some books or we study some courses or maybe get some coaching. But while we have all that information, while we know what we need to do, because we can't see yourself as that type of person, we don't actually take action on it. When you can't see yourself as someone who could be a blogger, you're probably not going to take the actions a blogger needs to take. Again, podcasting, if you don't see yourself as a podcaster, you're going to put it off. You're going to say, well, I need the right equipment, I need this, I need that, and then you don't do it. Or if you can't see yourself as a YouTuber, you're probably going to complain and say, well, I don't have the right equipment, I need the right videos, I need the right setup, I need this and that and the other, and you don't follow up on it. It's almost like, I don't know if you have learned how to drive a car, but when you sit in a car on the very first moment, you are holding on the wheel and you are probably terrified. You're probably terrified that you're just going to kill everybody around you. That who in their right mind would let you sit behind the wheel of a car because you just don't know what you're doing. And when you find that when you actually sit with a driving instructor or a parent or whatever, the first couple of lessons are really horrific. You're just watching everything, you're petrified, or you don't know, you're slamming on the brakes at the first opportunity and you're afraid of accelerating and you're afraid of the gears and everything is just terrible for you. But when you have a couple of lessons that over time you kind of relax a little bit. And then all of a sudden you see yourself, well, something, driving isn't so hard. And then as the lessons go on, you actually picture yourself as a driver. Now, you know that you're not going to be the best driver in the world. You're not going to be a Formula 1 driver. But you can actually picture in your mind that you could actually drive this car. And after a while then, when you do eventually get to your test, pass your test, well then you see yourself as a driver. So while you were kind of learning that experience of how to work the clutch, how to work the gears, all the indicators, all those different things, while you were learning all the technical bits of it, you were also building confidence in yourself where you actually saw yourself as a driver. That there would be some time when you would be on your own and you would be able to drive the car on your own. So you're kind of building a mental picture in your head at that point as well. And then, as I said, after that, when you pass your test, you were way off on your own. Now, it's going to be the same with whatever you're looking to do. Even this podcast here, I wanted to do a podcast for a long, long time. Again, I went down the same route as everybody else did. I watched videos, I read books, I was wondering, well, what's the right equipment? What do I need? All those different things. But it was only really when I kind of pictured myself in my head as a podcaster. Now, that didn't happen on the very first podcast episode. It took me a while and a lot of courage to actually record an episode and actually put it online. But what I found was that after a couple of episodes, I began to relax a bit into the role. I began to feel more comfortable speaking on the microphone. I kind of got, the fears and all the worries about how I sounded, how I talk. I kind of got all that out of the way. And then slowly I kind of build a picture in my mind that, yes, I am becoming a podcaster. Now, I'm not saying I'm the best podcaster. Still not the best podcaster. But I could see myself in that role. And because I could see myself in that role, I started to take the actions that a podcaster takes. That means coming up with ideas. That means sitting down, recording the episodes, uploading them. And then, as I said, over time, I slowly began to see myself as a podcaster. So what I would say to you is that if you have difficulty maybe taking action because you can't do it consistently, or you don't believe in yourself, or you think, well, all those other people are more talented than me. All those other people can blog, all those other people can write, all those other people can do YouTube videos, but I can't do them. I'm telling you that you're wrong. And the reason that you're wrong is because you are not picturing yourself as that thing. Now, I know how difficult that is. When you're a beginner, how the hell do you picture yourself as a blogger if it's only your first week of blogging? Or again, YouTube or whatever. It is sometimes really hard to, jump on 6 months in time or a year from now and actually see yourself in that role where you've all those blog posts done or all those videos done or all the podcast episodes done. I know it's difficult sometimes, but you'll need to do that. So what I would say to you is that whatever you're looking to do, whatever you're looking to achieve, just because you're having difficulty right now, it doesn't mean that you can't do it. Now, while getting all the information, getting all the knowledge, watching all the videos is really, really great, because the more you know, the more you know. But as I said in a couple episodes of this podcast recently, having too much information isn't great either. Sometimes you just need the bare minimum, and then you kind of learn as you go along. But you also need to mentally build a picture in your head. Now, it might take you maybe a couple of days, a couple of weeks, maybe even a couple of months to actually see yourself in the role that you are looking to do. So my advice to you would be maybe just to take a few moments to yourself today, maybe just close your eyes, and then maybe just jump on maybe a year from now and picture yourself in that role. Picture yourself as a blogger who is writing all the time. Picture yourself as a podcaster who's creating podcast episodes. Now, you don't need to picture yourself as a successful one or someone who is excellent at the job. Just basically picture yourself at the bare minimum of what you would like to be. Because sometimes if we kind of jump too far ahead of ourselves, if I pictured myself as a successful podcaster with millions of listeners, I probably couldn't see myself in that position where I am right now. But if I could maybe see myself mentally as a better podcaster than I am right now, where maybe I have maybe an extra 1,000 listeners, or maybe I have an extra 1,000 downloads, that for me is easier for me to mentally grasp onto rather than jumping too far ahead. So think about that today. Whatever you're looking to do, it's not that you can't do it. It's just that mentally, maybe you mightn't have the picture in your head right now. And because you haven't got your picture in your head of you in that role, you're not taking the actions you need to do that. And you will find that when you take on that role mentally, you will find that you will take the actions that a blogger takes, or takes the actions that a podcaster takes, or a TikToker, or a YouTuber, or a fiction writer, or whatever. You'll be able to take those actions because you actually see yourself in that role. Again, it's just like jumping into the car today. You don't even think about it anymore because you see yourself as a driver. You just turn on the ignition and you just drive. So sometimes, as I said, kind of having an online business sometimes is more of a mental game than actually doing the work. It's all good and well having the knowledge, but if you don't see yourself in that role, you'll never take action on the knowledge. So take some time today, as I said, and picture yourself in that role. Picture yourself a year from now, whatever it is, as that blogger, as the podcaster, as the YouTuber or whatever, and replay that kind of fantasy or that future memory over and over again until it feels comfortable, until it feels that, yes, I could be that thing. And you will find then the actions will come a lot easier because, as I said, the actions we take are how we picture ourselves in our head. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.